Welcome back to the Tara Palmeri Show. The House Oversight Committee has released the transcript from the closed-door hearings with Epstein's longtime attorneys, Richard Kahn and Darren Indyke. These two gentlemen claim that they didn't know what the settlements to these women were all about. Believe me, the transcripts are shocking. They also talk about Jane Doe 4, the woman who claimed that she was assaulted by both Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. And as we know, their testimony has been contradictory at best. I get into all of this and more with my friends, V Spehar and Leslie Dobson. Definitely check out this episode and stick around with us. It's a lighter one. It's kind of a lunch. It's chatty, but we definitely get into a lot of different themes, and I hope you enjoy it. It's not my typical style, but if you like it, leave a comment.
All right, well, here we are. And there are more updates in the Epstein case situation. I think the thing we talked about kicking off with first is this update with the settlement that went to Jane Doe number 4 and the potential of like that being a little shady. Dr. Leslie, you're nodding. Can you give us like the TLDR on that?
Yeah, I mean, just the deposition of the accountant where he basically said that the Trump estate settled with this victim and then he backtracked. It was like, okay, is this perjury? Did you make a mistake? Why does this keep happening? It's so strange, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Tara?
seemed like he was, this is the thing I keep seeing from everyone, not just from lawyers, but from victims too. Everyone is afraid of Trump, right? Like that is the red line, you could say. And even the victims, like they don't feel comfortable talking about Trump. They're always like, he's great. We love him. Can he please help us? They are afraid of his power and the weight of what he could do. And I get that sense from the lawyers that they know that they cannot cross the president of the United States, that they may feel the full force of the government against them. And that is a very scary thing. It is hard to speak out right now, especially on this story. Yeah, like I've seen it ever since he was president from the victims, even the way that Virginia would talk about him. He was great. He was amazing. And it was always like she was trying really hard. Everyone else was dark and scary, but President Trump was great. And so it's like,
yeah,
why?
What do you think that is, though? Dr. Leslie, do you have a psychological evaluation of the victim mentality? Is it like you just really want to believe so bad?
No, I mean, there could be this cult-like mentality or genuine blackmail, but the two things that pop into my head are one, Pam Bondi's admiration towards Trump when she was was in front of the House, and then two, the moment Clinton saw the images of him in the spa. Both of those kind of looks of admiration were very similar, and so it's like this almost like they're fangirling over things and they're manipulated, I think. But maybe they have this promise, like if you see this through with me, I'm going to give you like $100 million. I mean, there's so much that they could gain from seeing this through.
How are the victims sort of responding now? I've seen them like on Capitol Hill a couple times. Ro Khanna has obviously been leading a lot of meetings with them in the House Oversight Committee. Have you guys got to talk to anyone to see like, do they feel like it's working, or is it just like still just trying? Like no accountability so far, really.
Yeah, I think it's like there's like spurts of hope and whoa, like Prince Andrew, Peter Mandelson. We just find out that they were hiding Jane Doe 4, all like there's like moments where they see Leon Black exposed and they're excited about that, but then they're kind of brought back to life, remembering that we've only seen like 3% of the files and we may never see the rest of them. So it's kind of like it's better than what they've had before, which was absolutely nothing for decades. But it's obviously the war in Iran has really put this one on the back burner, right?
Purposely.
Which is also Epstein's idea, apparently. Everything comes down to Epstein. Like we said, he may have died, which I like to play conspiracies with. If he killed himself, did he die? Is he actually dead? Is he Palm Beach Pete? Do you guys know about Palm Beach Pete?
He's no, but Palm Beach Pete is really working this right now.
Who I'm going to pull up a picture of him. Somebody please explain Palm Beach Pete to the chat while I pull this up. It's insane,
I'm
this
like
guy.
so impressed that you're producing this right now and literally pulling it up. I could
Girl.
never do this.
The ADHD. It's working, baby.
Brilliant. I love it.
But Palm Beach Pete is just a guy who is running around in his convertible, who looks just like Epstein. But he's like blowing up on his own TikTok. He's making his money off this and
Right.
explicitly saying he's not Epstein, but he laughs and he smirks. He's charismatic and flirty.
Why is he doing this? Who wants to be like mistaken for, here he is, I'm going to put him up here.
It's 15
Why
minutes
would you
of
ever want to be
fame.
mistaken for Jeffrey Epstein? It's the sickest, weirdest thing. Here's Palm Beach Pete.
I wonder if when Epstein lived in Palm Beach, they also got mistaken for each other.
Oh,
Maybe.
probably.
Let's not
Or this
forget
guy
that
is just-
Epstein had the tackiest house in Palm Beach. And that
How old would Epstein be now? Or is
How old would he be?
I think
Or
it'd be
is-
Depending
like
on your perspective.
that's
I'd
I
have to
don't
look.
I actually don't know. Jeffrey, he was definitely
70
arrested in his
probably.
like late 60s.
Yeah, 70 something.
Yeah.
73. He would be 73.
73.
Yeah, he was,
Yeah.
So yeah.
But we have
Madison
to rephrase that. Like,
says-
how old is Epstein now? Because he's still alive, you know.
I mean, that's
Wow.
how I feel. He was, and we'll get into my conspiracy after this. He was interviewed on Jimmy Kimmel last night. Palm Beach Pete was on Kimmel last night. Tara knows how I feel about Jimmy Kimmel's connections to the
yeah.
Epsteins.
I have the same feelings about Jimmy Kimmel because he was a real asshole after we worked on that story about his bestie, APL, Adam Perry Lang, the celebrity chef who worked
Again,
on
this
Zero
Very-
Ranch.
who lives in Jimmy Kimmel's pool house for a period of time, and now Kimmel's having on Palm Beach Pete. Like, I just don't like that. You're giving me the ick, Kimmel. You're giving me the ick
Kimmel,
at least with what
I
you're doing.
think Kimmel wants to make Epstein into a joke or a nothing burger to save his friend. Honestly, I
You
do.
think so? Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the more people know that he was friends with a guy who worked for Jeffrey Epstein for so long, what is all over the flight logs, APL, APL, APL.
Yep.
The worse it makes him look. So he's got him he has to turn this into a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There was
And I'm
another,
not trying to be conspiratorial, but I do think that there's something there.
every time I'm in a room where we are talking about Epstein and other men are around, it is the only time that men are quiet. They wait for it to be over. It's something I've noticed either even when I I bring it up every time I'm on CNN, we're talking about Epstein. I'm just going to bring it up a little bit, at least if I can. And every time, every man just sort of sits there and waits for it to be over. They don't say anything bad. They don't agree. They just wait for it to be over because it's like this Epstein expose has really exposed a lot of the bad behavior that many men have in obviously a lesser capacity, but they're uncomfortable with it. They want it to go away. Even if they're not connected to Epstein, they want it to go away.
I have to tell you, I went on Billy Bush's podcast, Hot Mics.
Oh,
His
boy.
uncle was our president. And I straight up called him a misogynist. I went at it. He won't
Yeah.
air it. He won't
He's
air
like,
it.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're weenies. Little
He was
weenie-
like, no,
people are like,
I
remember
was
the
just
Man
wanting
Show?
to talk. Yeah, they wanted to talk about Epstein. And I was like, sure. Why aren't the files out? Because of misogynistic fuckers like you. Oh, you don't want to
Mhm.
air that? Oh, okay. So you're just proving me right.
You know what?
Mhm.
You know what really bothers me is I feel like everyone is so when are you gonna move on from Epstein? Or what else are you gonna do after Epstein? And it's after Epstein, we haven't even hit the surface yet.
We're just going
and
to
also-
add to Epstein.
Right?
Yeah, and did anyone ever say to Bob Woodward, when are you gonna move on from Watergate? I mean, honestly, I could
know.
argue that this is maybe a bigger story than that. If not,
I think
actually,
it
is a much
is.
bigger story. It is much bigger
I think
story.
so.
But no one ever said to Bob Woodward or Carl Bernstein, when are you going to move on from Watergate?
Right. Good point, Tara. Good point.
And it's only men. I've never heard a woman say that to me before.
No.
Whenever I meet women, they're like, tell me everything. Whenever I
Yeah.
meet men, they're just like, so when are you going to move on from it? It's like, why? I don't think I should move on until there's actually until we actually know the full story. Why are there 40 terabytes that the FBI is holding on to that we haven't seen? We've only seen 300 gigabytes.
And also the Rothschild, the banking system, the entire infrastructure of America is linked to things that have been literally emailed about in these files. You can't let go because we are standing up above all of it. It's holding us up here. We have to figure out how to break it down and then put different people in power who have ethics and morals.
Yeah.
Or at least you're too young to have been involved in this one. Amanda, as a historian, do you think that there has ever been a scandal in American history, an expose as deep and corrupt and widespread as Epstein?
No. I mean, the Epstein is international for one. Most of America's biggest scandals are, limited to our own internal screw-ups, including Watergate, for which Bob got a Pulitzer, by the way. Not only was he not ever asked to let go of it, he was awarded.
No journalists have gotten Pulitzers for Epstein or Emmys or really very few prizes. I mean, Julie got a few prizes, but she didn't get a Pulitzer for it. Why is that? Because everybody puts it in the tabloid section. Really?
Right.
And when it comes to like this kind of crime specifically, we have a terrible history. I mean, I think back to like, I can't remember his name, but there was a senator during the Civil War when the Southern states started to secede. One of the main secessionist senators from South Carolina was a known pedophile. He had raped 4 of his nieces and he had experienced like complete political oblivion after that. He was very, very punished by society. But since he was such an effective secessionist, once the South started to secede, they put him back in the Senate to like speak for South Carolina as we led up to that crisis. So men will let other men get away with this sort of thing in American history if it becomes politically expedient to them personally.
Wasn't the Republican Speaker of the House for the longest time like a known sex criminal?
Not in Congress. I think he was a state level speaker in Iowa.
Something.
Maybe Ohio. But yes, the longest state legislature speaker in the Republican Party was a lifelong, pedophile.
Yeah, awful person. Hassert, that's who it was.
Yes,
Dennis Hassert.
I don't know why everyone's cool with it. I don't get it. It's just like it's like sex crimes don't matter because and then the 302s, they're gossip. Nobody says, oh, well, actually you have to, when you testify, you perjure yourself. That is a crime. And Martha Stewart went to jail for it. It's the file that a victim, when they call the FBI and they call into the FBI and they testify, they give a deposition. That's a 302. Which brings me back to Jane Doe 4. I mean, we still don't know if the Epstein estate has settled with her, because in that case, she alleges that President Trump shoved her head down and tried to get her to give him oral sex.
This was the she bit him. Right.
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah, and then he punched her in the face, right?
Yeah,
and
we just don't know. Like, why is it that I think they need to bring Darren Indyke back? That's Epstein's executor of his estate, and they need to get him under oath, and he needs to answer clearly. Did you settle with this victim who has alleged crimes against President Trump? Did you settle?
Period. So why won't they?
I think
because Pamela Joe has like dream eyes for Trump or something. What happened to her? Do we know why she is the way she is? Amanda, do you know why she's like this?
Yeah, I have a list. I have a list of 18 reasons.
Okay. Hit us, Leslie.
I do.
She really is I lived in Tampa in like 2012 when she was sort of like, she was like the attorney general or something. And she was like, people liked her overall. Socially, she did pretty well. She was like, okay. But like, I'm like, girl, what happened to you? And why do you still look so young? Like not in you had a lot of work way, but she like carries herself like a little girl around him. It's very gross to me.
Well, I think Trump needs to be around like meek women. Like he's not going to be around someone who's going to tell him he's wrong. So he needs to have women who are yes women, and that's usually someone who sounds like they're on diazepam or whatever.
I need a lorazepam. Dr. Leslie, do you have your 18 reasons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pam.
Okay. Let's see. I have an Excel spreadsheet.
Oh my God.
Of course you do. This is the kind of pettiness that this show will be known for. Okay, I need you to come in with your documents.
Here we go. Okay. Let's see. So we have all these claims against her and all these ties. So she's from Tampa. I mean, of course, she's from Florida, right?
Yeah.
So, you got to look up her bio because you see a lot of ties. She hung out in the same places as all of them, right? So
Right.
maybe she was trafficked herself in a sense or groomed in a sense, right? She was admitted to the bar in 1991 in good standing. I think what we need to see now is that it's currently in good standing. Well, we need to get her license taken, right? So people have been making reports to the bar. Okay. Keep doing it, guys. Keep reporting to the bar. They will listen. She's lied under oath. So now we can use that.
Classy.
Let's see. Yeah, she had the Florida AG office where I can't remember, things were tied to Epstein during that. She wasn't convicting people during that time when she should have. Let me see. I have a
Folks are saying
specific
she has ties
timeline.
to Scientology also, which makes sense because that's all out of Clearwater. Is she in a cult? Is she? Do we know?
Her religious affiliation? I don't think that's on my list yet.
Add
That's
it
a
to
big
the
one,
sheet.
though.
Yeah.
Scientology would be.
Hi, Scott.
Yeah, she didn't open anything against Epstein from 2011 to 2019.
Yeah.
That was like prime activity, prime claims
Right.
against him. She didn't open any cases.
Do we know what
Technically,
Susie
he
Wiles
had
was up
signed-
to?
He technically had a non-prosecution signed against him in the state, a non-prosecution agreement. I'm not covering for her, but I'm just saying.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because remember that was a sweetheart deal that he wouldn't be
Right.
prosecuted.
That's the sweetheart deal.
Yeah.
But she's
not-
also been friends with Dershowitz forever.
Really?
Yeah, that's in the files too.
And who's actually friends with Dershowitz? I don't even think.
Could you imagine? And then the age difference, right? That's a little fishy. Dershowitz and Pam Bondi. And
Right.
is
She's
that
been married a couple
another?
times. She and Nancy Mace can't keep a man, so maybe they hate women, or there's like something deeply broken with their relationship with other women.
Oh, and yeah, so Dershowitz, of course, represented Trump during the first impeachment, but what about Pam Bondi and Qataris, where she was getting $115,000 a month?
The Qataris were buying
The
everybody,
Qataris.
and they still are, and yet here they
They're
are
sorry.
losing the 20% of their LNG from this war in Iran after spending $260 million in
She was a lobbyist for them.
Yeah,
For Qatar.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean everybody's on the Qatar payroll, unfortunately, in Washington. They will be throwing a party at the Four Seasons for White House Correspondents' dinner. Do not go.
Are they this year?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
they did last year too. It's like a known thing.
I just can't. And I also, the amount of influencers that go to Dubai and are like, everywhere else sucks. Doesn't matter what country they're from. Could be UK, Canada, America, Mexico. They all go there. They're like, everything sucks. This is actually the greatest place on earth. And then try to pretend that they're like super leftists. While I'm like, your entire economy and all the comforts you're feeling are propped up by actual enslaved people.
Slave labor.
who like not even an exaggeration, genuine, took the passport, slave labor, enslaved people are propping up this economy. But after they bombed the Fairmont Hotel, all of a sudden they were really scared. They wanted all their countries to come and grab them again. And they're like, oh my God, I need the Prime Minister of UK on the phone right now to send me a private jet to get me out of Dubai. Like,
and
bro.
leaving their dogs wrapped up
They
on
left their
like
dogs.
poles. Yeah, it's like the sad, to me, that really upset me. They left their dogs in like the worst way, just like wrapped up on poles.
Death sentence.
I would go there to rescue all their dogs. Seriously.
Yes.
That's
Who did that?
We have a new mission. I need to know every single person that abandoned a dog in their
anyone
life.
wants to start a GoFundMe, I'll go to Dubai. Actually, I'm kind of afraid to go right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I
know,
would
you
be
went
afraid.
one time. Did you go
I
one
would
time?
bring
You
back
went
all
for
the dogs.
COP 28. They tried to get me to go. I was like, I cannot be doing this.
Would they let you back in?
I don't think
course,
so. I think
because,
at this
like,
point, me and Tara are screwed. They're like, get those Epstein girlies out of here. They'd be talking too much. They'd be reading too much. We can't be having
they do
this.
too much.
We should be
They
checking like
do.
every day to see if our passports are working.
We just stopped all my
Um,
travel. Tara's going to Italy for me because I'm so scared. Get you a friend who sends you to Italy for
for
them.
that. Thank you for that, V. I'm really looking forward to that trip.
I know. I was like, Tara, I'm too afraid to fly right now. And like, I can't be out of the country. I need to be doing these lives every day. Will you please go to Italy fully paid for me for 4 days? And it was
You're
great.
being
And
a
it worked
really good
out.
wife. Okay.
I am. We have a good, I have to be here in Rochester. I just drove to Indiana because I'm not messing with the airlines right now.
Picking the right medical coverage is stressful. So if you or someone you love is on Medicare, you really need to pay attention here because it's confusing at times. And I actually think it's on purpose. Well, Chapter has unbiased, independent Medicare advisors that are salary-based. They're not looking to waste your time. In fact, they can scan through tons of plans in under 20 minutes, and they'll tell you if the one you have is the right one, or if you can save money as much as $1,100. That's the average that people save. And the best part is it's totally free. It's a great way to find a plan that fits your needs. So for free and unbiased Medicare help, dial 305-515-5237 to speak with my trusted partner, Chapter, or go to askchapter.org/Tara.
I'm not trying to be a problem where there already are problems. You're not
Oh,
going to
I
catch
saw
me at
you
the Fire
dancing. I
Fest.
saw your dance.
Yeah, I drove 7 hours to and from Indiana for my gig at Purdue in Fort Wayne, and gotta say, like, I've never been to Fort Wayne in my life. Those people are good people out there. I had a great time. The audience was incredible. Everybody was like so eager to learn and interesting, and like their students gave me great questions, and we had a lot of fun. And then I drove back, and now we're like, boom, done. No more travel at all. I just don't want to be involved,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. And also TSA, do you want to hang out with them in the airport? I mean, sorry, ICE.
ICE.
Not TSA. Poor TSA
ICE.
workers. I want to, like, every time I see them come to work, I'm like, thank you.
I know.
God bless you
know.
for coming to work without getting paid.
Well, Trump
know?
just said he's thinking about sending in the National Guard to the airports now.
Great.
He
I
loves
wonder
to
if
waste money.
Are they gonna like frisk us or something? I don't.
No, no, it was because Landry in Louisiana asked if he could. Yeah.
Well, it's Linda from Arizona that had the idea to put ICE at the airports. You know about this. We've talked about this a couple days now, but it never gets old to me. Linda from Arizona called into a conservative podcast called like the Carl Trucker and somebody else, Bucky Loser podcast. And then Carl, one of the podcasts and she was like, hi, this is Linda from Arizona. And what I think Donald Trump should do is send in ICE to act as the TSA agents. And these conservative podcasters were like, yeah, man, that's a great idea. And then one of them went on Hannity that Friday night and was like, you know what we heard on the show today? We should send ICE in. Saturday morning, Donald Trump wakes up and is like, I have had a dream, like Joseph in the Bible. We are going to put ICE in the airports. And they're like, who came up with this idea? There's no plan. They have no SOP. There's no training for them. They had no idea who they were going to send, what they were going to do. He was like, yeah, no, it's my idea. And he was like, whose idea was it? Mine. It was entirely mine. It was totally my idea. And when he says stuff like that, I'm like, it wasn't your idea. You heard it on Fox News. So Linda from Arizona, thanks for your great feedback. I was saying yesterday, I'm going to start pretending.
I'm just going to hold this up in front of the camera.
Yes. The much more dangerous case of Donald Trump. Correct.
Everybody read this.
Conservative calling into podcasts with ideas. Yeah.
By the way, like I've been watching The Great on Hulu because I had to get Hulu to watch Love Story, obviously. And so I was like, you know what, I might as well use this Hulu monthly membership that I'll probably cancel. Sorry, Hulu, if they're a sponsor. But The Great is about Catherine the Great and like the dysfunction of the Russian court. And it like every part of it just reminds me of what we're going through right now. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I actually recommend everyone watch it. It just, I'm like, and there was a coup involved. I mean,
Natalie watched that and found it very interesting. I haven't watched Love Story yet because I'm like really sick of the Kennedys right now. And I feel like I can't be bothered. I have to wait until the New York 12 election is over and RFK Jr. is removed from office. And then maybe I could like find some romance for the Kennedy family.
Why are you sick of them? I'm curious.
I'm sick of political dynasty families, honestly. And like, I understand that there are Nepo babies that can't do anything else. But like, I think as far as political Nepo babies go, Chelsea Clinton does a pretty good job of managing herself. And I have great respect for her. Like, she did go get educated and did her own thing. And like, sure, she does Clinton Global Initiative and different stuff, but she is not annoying. And she does not like, do you know who my father is anymore? Like, so I don't know.
Well,
I also
good.
used to
I
have to
mean,
wait on her a
fine.
lot at the restaurant. So I feel like I know her well. But I can't with the Kennedys right now because Camelot was a lie, right? And this idea of like what Camelot left behind is a little bit of how we got Trump in some ways. This idea that there are families in America that are most American or more American or should be given greater deference because of XYZ thing. And I'm like sick of it. And I don't think Jack is a serious candidate. And I like am probably going to get killed for this, for saying this online. I thought Jack was really fun when he was the DNC correspondent for Vogue. I thought that was a great job for him. He was so funny. And like, that's the levity I would want from like a Kennedy right now. I don't know that he needs to do this to reclaim his family name. I'm like, no, if you run for office, you should be doing it to represent those constituents' needs. And I'm not sure that people get that, you know?
He's like
George
a
Conway?
white hot Venn diagram of people who should not be running for Congress. Like Nepo
Yeah.
babies and influencers. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Do a
Please stop
different
doing
job.
that.
Yeah.
Stop.
Do we have
Yeah.
influencers running? I haven't even seen. Are there any good
Uh,
ones?
There's a couple.
yeah.
Spencer Pratt is running. Somebody
Oh
in
my
here says,
God.
I don't know. I think the Obama's children are pretty awesome. And you know what's so funny? They're so awesome. They don't even occur to me as political Nepo
Yes.
baby children because they mind their own business so well.
Pelosi's kids.
They're
Pelosi's
actually
kids
really
are cool.
low-key. Yeah.
Well, Christine was pushing around Dianne Feinstein for quite a while.
No, that's true.
So, Christine wanted
Three
to
of-
run for
She wanted to
Pelosi's
run.
kids. Yeah.
Right.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alexandra
Three of Pelosi's
School,
kids are
the
cool.
documentarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what about George Conway? Do you like him? I'm interviewing him tomorrow, so I'm curious to hear what you think.
Ooh.
I
I
think he'd be
know.
so good on the stand, like in House Oversight, like grilling someone. He's such a good lawyer.
He's a
What do you
great
think?
lawyer. I'm not, you know how I feel about the flippers. Like, I think you were way too involved with the Republican Party for so long that this feels a little Michael Cohen-y to me, a little opportunistic move over here because I got cut out over there. And I don't know that it is. And I think George Conway is certainly less damaging than Michael Cohen is. And I like Claudia Conway. I think Claudia's really smart and funny, and I like her attitude. Yeah. And Kellyanne Conway and my mom had a really good conversation at the White House one time for several hours for reasons that I will not get into today. But no, I will. It's fine. It was St. Patrick's Day, and I got to take my parents to the White House in Trump's first term when Ricky Nichetto was the social secretary. And I had no idea.
Our friend. She's our friend.
Yes, our friend. And at that point, he had been, president for like 2 months, and there was like nothing. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, well, my dad wants to see the White House and this will be like a good opportunity. And we went. And I also cornered Betsy DeVos at this event to try and ask her to not cut my food program for kids, the blessings in a backpack that she was trying to cut in Michigan. And then she didn't cut it. So I think that worked out for me.
So
But,
you get good lobbyist, B.
I am a great lobbyist. I'm a great lobbyist. I'm the greatest unpaid lobbyist on all of the Hill because I like genuinely care about this shit. And then I'll like find a way to make you care about it too. But yeah, maybe in my next life, I'll make money. I don't know.
You could work for Qatar.
Oh, I bet they would. No, I have too much rage for that. I'm like, I can't. And
They
I'm a
could use
gay.
new PR right now.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm a gay. I
Seriously.
can't. Maybe
Can't.
I just
You
can't. But yeah, I
actually
got
can't.
Betsy
I'm not sure
DeVos.
they want you either.
I know. I went up to Betsy DeVos at the White House St. Patrick's Day thing. And I swear to God, you've never seen anybody so scared to see me coming. And this is before I was just working in food. And I was like, look, this isn't a trick. You're not getting pumped. I'm not from like MTV News. I have a genuine question. I'm also just a guest here. Like, I just want to just tell you about this program that I run for kids in Michigan, in Detroit. And it's possible that you might be considering cutting this as part of like Department of Education stuff or not allowing it. And I just wish that you wouldn't. And she was like, okay. And then we took a picture. So I had evidence that we met.
What is she doing now? She has to break down her own department. That's sad.
Who the hell knows what she's doing? Betsy
That's
DeVos.
so weird.
Her
They're-
father
they're,
ran
uh,
Amway.
That's the Amway family. Yeah.
Yeah. So isn't it weird when like Department of Education, Trump's like, dismantle it. And then VOA, Voice of America, he tells Carrie Lake, dismantle it. then you have no job. Oh, that's Linda McMahon, who was at the Department of Education. And now these women are like, I don't have any influence. Isn't it weird that Trump gave the women the jobs of destroying their departments and giving them zero power?
It's all the women. He's got a female shield.
I know. People are saying there's too many Republicans, former Republicans on MS now. They want to know what we think about Kinzinger.
I mean, I don't know.
Like
I don't think hard about him. Is that weird?
Yeah. I don't think about him really.
I like Kinzinger. Like as a person.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know what his future is.
Yeah.
But he's a chill guy.
We'll take it.
One of the last kind of normal. He was like the last boat out of Saigon, or the last chopper out of Saigon, the last Republican standing from a bygone era of conservative politics. And I appreciate his vocalness about it. I don't think he should run for anything again, but
I appreciate that he has experience, or that he was actually in the military. I mean, I think we need people who actually, maybe people who actually have worked for the government before or are lawyers.
But it's good that he has military experience, because they're like, maybe they won't send us to war. They actually know what it's like there. But then again, you see Pete Hegseth and these like warmongers.
Pete Hegseth is a disgraced major who was in the National Guard, which I have great respect for. Nothing against the National Guard, but he was a disgraced major who kept volunteering to try and go to war, and they wouldn't let him because he didn't pass like the psych. And now he's in charge of everything. So yeah.
Oh, the guy didn't pass the psych. That's great.
I would love his psych analysis. Does anyone have it?
I bet we could find it. We need his DD 214. Folks want to know why some people say it's Qatar and other people say Qatar.
It's Qatar. It's
actually Qatar.
I just say it wrong.
It's
Qatar.
It's Iran, not Iran. We all say
Iran. I'll say, but yeah, it's Qatar to me.
Qatar. It's not
Qatari,
Iran,
like Qatari.
Like what did they say? Iraq. That was
Iraq.
Iraq.
Yeah, Iraq.
It's Iraq.
They were the worst. Just the worst.
W said Iraq. No, he said Iraq. Iraq.
Yeah.
Oh, people want to know why I don't like Gavin Newsom.
Well, I can start there, but you first.
No, you go ahead.
Hey, Tara, this is my state. This is my state, guys. Come
on. Wait, Dr. Leslie first.
Are you happy now?
Yeah.
I will never leave California, but I genuinely, and I know Tara we might disagree, but I genuinely think Eric Swalwell should be in California. And I know. And the problem.
Amanda's holding her face. Well, okay.
The problem with Newsom, I think, is that he is going to make people more MAGA if he runs. Like they're just going to be like, "Oh, I was kind of in the middle, but fuck this, I'm going now," and that scares me because he's so charismatic and charming and is so anti-MAGA.
But I don't think that he is like charming to South Carolina. That's the thing. I don't think Newsom translates into like flyover state appeal. I don't think he's Iowa charming. I think he's coastal elite charming. He's kind of like a used car salesman who's going to F your wife. Oh wait, he did that to his best friend, And then also just like case study. If I was Republican, I'd be like, case study, Florida. I'm sorry, case study, California. Go. What have you done? How's it going?
We're building a train?
Yeah, whatever happened to the trains? Whatever happened
building a train?
When is that happening?
Pelosi's train to LA did not happen.
We're building something now where you could have just walked, but I'm not sure.
Like I love California. It is the most beautiful place in America. It is gorgeous. The vistas, the mountains. There's nowhere more beautiful, but it is so dysfunctional.
Yeah, I mean, it was $125 to fill up my tank, my V6 tank.
Like I hate to say it, but DeSantis is like actually better at running a state. And that is hard to say.
Oh my God, Miss Miami. All of a sudden, loving Florida. Yeah, we can't have Newsom be the president because like Maureen says, he's already got a nickname from Trump. So it'll give MAGA something to rally against. It's their common enemy. It's their favorite adversary. Like
who cares? But he is the president. Trump said he was the president.
I know.
I think Trump wants him to be the guy. He wants to run against him.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I think that.
I don't know. The kids, Clavicular said that JD Vance is subhuman and Gavin Newsom Moggs. So I don't know if we're gonna have to try and get the Gen Z male vote, it might have to be Newsom. I think that a Westmore John Ossoff ticket would slap so hard. That's my fantasy ticket.
West doesn't want to.
Yeah, they need a good
I know he
Southern
doesn't want
Democrat
to, which
there.
is why he should be the leader. He's the best.
Mhm.
You know what? The Democrats needed a good Southern Democrat.
It's Bashir.
Bashir.
It's Bashir.
I don't. Is he I don't know his background well enough. But governors are
Yeah.
always
Blue state governor of a red state. He's very progressive in a sneaky way.
Mhm.
I
I'm
like
putting
him.
this on the screen
skeptical
for
of
my own
everyone.
personal
Like,
pettiness.
first of all, I'm skeptical of both sides always. I can't.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you're a journalist. You're supposed to
I
be.
know. I'm just like, ooh, you're in a there, but it's too early right now. I'd like to see like a dark horse, like an Obama who you didn't see coming. Just, just come out of nowhere. Some really.
But I mean,
serious-
aren't we? Isn't Trump planning a coup? So like, we won't even get to this. It's like, we don't even need to talk about this.
No, he's not. That's something that Steve Bannon made up to troll us and sell hats. That's not.
Are we going to get to November? I'm a little concerned there.
Bannon's definitely planning a coup for sure because he's bored and he's doing
bored.
he's definitely.
Had so
planning
much
a
fun the first time.
He's scared. I think he's scared.
Yeah, definitely. So he's definitely planning a coup, but I have a friend of mine does polling at like the highest levels. I can't say who because these are private polls. And he found that the number one Democrat right now is Mark Cuban.
Who
Hard pass.
answered that?
The pollster is.
And the crowd just
but like-
stops in their tracks.
Let's just say
That's like a secret?
He polls for president. So this is how at the level he polls at. And
Okay.
Mark Cuban. How do you guys
Like
feel about that?
like another celebrity?
I
Yeah,
will do
because America-
everything in my influence to make that not happen.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I mean,
Tell us.
I can't look at what's happening after 2 terms of someone with no governing experience.
Right.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
We need like a boring regular person back. You know what I need
is he gonna pay America? Can he pay us if he does that?
he does pay his taxes, which is good. I interviewed him about that and he's like, I pay taxes.
The
I'm
bar
happy
is
to
on the
pay
floor,
taxes."
B. The bar is on the floor.
That's what
Like,
I mean.
every
I was like, at least he
every
pays
time
taxes.
Every time the government shuts down, Cuban could come in and like pay TSA and pay for food stamps. Well, they all fucking duke
Might
it
as well
out.
have Elon. Let's have Elon then. Let's oh gosh. No, okay. Mark Cuban as president made us all like genuinely stop. You would have thought the screen froze. But I get it. He is sort of like been a Democratic surrogate for so long, and he does have kind of like FU money where he doesn't care. His ego is not based on likability. So like Mark Cuban as a construct, I understand, but it's like, why not JB Pritzker then if you just want a billionaire?
Exactly.
At least he's got governing experience and he's on the Zemp now. At least it looks to me like he might be on a little Ozempic, which I wish he wasn't because I liked him when he was just being himself, but he's like getting so skinny now because he's obviously gearing up.
It's because Cuban has podcast bro appeal that like actual
That's true.
politicians
Yeah.
don't have.
But look at like Thomas Massey. Like he's kind of gotten hot. And as he's gotten more fame with this, and not,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
that's a low bar for hot.
Maybe he's got gay friends now. You start
he's
doing
doing
stuff
his hair.
progressively, and we give you a little nice haircut, a little nice stew, little something.
Little 5 o'clock shadow.
You've seen Pam Bondi's extensions in her highlights. The gays are not for her. Okay, she can't get her hair done anywhere.
It's awful.
The flip.
Oh.
The flip.
Yeah.
I like
So
JB Pritzker
JB
'cause he had a
also
traumatic
doesn't pay his
childhood.
taxes though. He once took,
Really?
I think he took toilets out of one of his houses to not pay taxes on it.
Can you do that?
Yeah, you can. You should Google it. Toilet
Oh,
Pritzker.
It's like the billionaires taking private flights to the Middle East so that they don't have to pay taxes, so they could meet the residency requirements. Like, have you heard about this?
No.
oh.
We're seeing a lot of private jets going in, but not a lot of people coming out because people have already left if they're going to leave. But they're going in with like a person who needs to like geo-fence, spend a certain amount of time in the Middle East to avoid paying like full taxes wherever they live. And it's like incredibly dangerous. And now governments are trying to figure out like if they could ban private jet travel to the Middle East because they're like, no, this is like incredibly dangerous.
Is it just the Middle East?
It was a thing that Max Foster reported on a couple of weeks ago.
Ooh.
They were tracking PJs to ME. I was like, oh Christ, what the hell is this?
Because I could just go out in Mexico.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe they're registered in Saudi Arabia, registered in Dubai or something. They have to spend a certain amount of time in that area for it to like count for whatever they got. But
hey, they're billionaires for a reason. They know how to work it.
Well,
I guess so. They're willing to like get bombed.
They always blame their accountants for these, hijinks. Because
Which
the
brings
accountants
us back.
make money. They say the accountants make money off of the money they save you, apparently, at that level, allegedly.
But so
I wouldn't know. I just pay a flat fee.
then the accountants know
I pay
all, right?
30% of everything I make goes to taxes, if not more. I mean, it's like, yeah. I was like, when do I make enough money to not pay taxes anymore? My wife was like, literally never. And I need receipts for everything. So let's stop. Let's stop with that. That's not a real thing. I'm like, well,
But you could write off everything because you're an influencer, you know?
we can and we can. I think that there's a lot of fishiness that some folks will do that I won't, because I am actually genuinely afraid of prison and I just don't want to. And then we'll drive around our neighborhood and be like, oh, look, leaf pickup is here. Taxes at work. Or like the school's got like a new bus or something. I'm like, taxes at work. Like I'm always trying to like convince myself that like it's totally worth it. But paying the federal taxes this year, man, did that hurt, because you just know it's going to like ICE and war and Trump's war profiteering and his weird billionaire contracts. And that burns. I think that really burns.
Yeah. I haven't paid yet. I haven't decided.
You might just
I'm
be a
waiting for that
conscientious
bill,
objector
not-
to the tax.
It's
Amanda,
scary,
in
though.
history, is there a precedent for this in history for Americans not paying taxes to the authoritarian regime?
No.
No.
I mean, we didn't have an income tax until the very, the early 20th century. So I suppose in that way, and oligarchs before that, during the Gilded Age, went out of their way to make sure that that didn't happen. We were mostly taxed via tariff before there was a constitutional amendment to allow a federal income tax. But there has not been like mass amounts of people like as a protest. That's never happened because the IRS has guns. They will come get you.
The IRS does have guns.
They have their own police
we know
force.
that. And
Is that
is
right?
funny that Trump keeps saying the Gilded Age, the oligarchs and the tariffs. Those are his favorite things. It's like he's got not one original thought. He's like some sort of reincarnated robber baron from like the 1870s.
He says it like that's a good thing. The Gilded Age was awful. The Gilded Age was fucking awful.
I mean, but have you ever been at the end of life with someone who has dementia?
Yeah.
And they think about things in the past like they are good and rose-colored, and they really like to go into this nostalgia stage before their life is over. So maybe it's a good sign.
My great grandfather, he kept calling me a nice Austrian woman the whole time and telling me about the Battle of the Bulge and D-Day.
That's my shit. I would be into that.
He was a Polish officer. What?
We had this. My Uncle Huey, who's my mom's uncle, lived with us, and he was like, this is going to sound terrible, but he was like a pet to us when we were kids, because we had to my sister especially was very good with Uncle Huey. I was a little bit older, so I was less involved.
Uncle Huey.
But he really didn't understand. So my mom just took down all the mirrors so he wouldn't know that he was old. She was like, whatever, we're going to live in his world when he's here, because he's only awake a certain amount of hours during the day. And it was like real fun. I was a theater kid. I was like, this is outstanding. One year for Halloween, my friend came over and he was dressed like Mary Catherine Gallagher, but he's very Italian, so he was very hairy, right? And he looked like a boy, but he was wearing, this Mary Catherine Gallagher Catholic school outfit. My sister went to Catholic school, so Uncle Huey knew there was Catholic school going on, and we were like, didn't want to confuse him, so I was like, "Oh, this is my friend Mary," to my Uncle Huey, and my mom's like, "We're okay. Now we have to stick with it." And then she leaves. She leaves, and he's like, "It's so nice of you to be friends with such a homely girl. I mean, that was really sweet of you to be." You gotta love old people. Old people can be a blast. And if they have dementia in a fun way, like Uncle Huey did, I mean, what are you gonna do? He thought he was young. He played soccer with us outside. I don't know. He got to be 25 forever, I guess.
We don't
We
use the word
can't-
homely enough.
We
Yeah.
can't have Uncle Huey running the country.
No, Uncle Huey should not be running the country.
It's a
He
fair point.
definitely
we
should
kind of
not.
had that last time though. Not
There was a little bit of
not
that.
to point fingers,
Exactly.
but
At the
I
end
mean,
there.
come
The
off
25th
another
what-
man
25th
who-
Amendment, both
Yeah,
for the past, what, 8 years? Where is
Yeah.
this amendment?
We actually talked about it earlier, and Amanda says the amendment won't help us. It's impeachment that you're going for. Yeah.
The articles have been submitted, right? Oh, no, to
You're-
Pam Bondi.
People want us to get back on track. What does the future look like? And did we talk enough about the Epstein files? Do we have anything else about the Epstein files other than that the Jane Doe number 4, that
Big
testimony
question.
is like come out, that evidence has been found, and we're going to try to figure out if a settlement was paid to her because it connects to Donald Trump in this allegation of sexual assault. Anything else going on?
And he said under oath the settlement was paid to her and then backtracked. So
Okay.
Yeah.
we need that. We need him back.
that's why I say call him back in. I think it's crazy that also they claim that they had no clue about his crimes, and yet we're paying all these settlements. And they were like, well, people just like need settlements. You know what I mean? They're just like, this is what happens when you're rich. You got to pay settlements all the time. You didn't know what the crimes were. I mean, there were a few things that popped out to me about these, because we just got the transcripts. I don't believe them when they said that they didn't know what he was doing. I want to make sure this is right, but I believe they paid the settlement to her. He said the claims were settled 2009 to 2010, not after Epstein's death. And that's a big deal to know that. Because, a lot of people say, well, can we really trust people that called into the FBI after President Trump was, in office and testified that he had that there was some sort of crime in connection to Epstein while he was president? It might be political. And I've thought about that too. But if you settled a claim before that, before he was president, 2009, and during that period, I think it's hard to argue that it was political.
Folks want to know if the UK, Great Britain is getting unredacted files. That would really change things.
Well, I just read in Politico that that they're working with the DOJ right now to try to get more information on Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and the former ambassador to the UK, Peter Mandelson. They're on it. I'm sure when they try to work with our DOJ, they're going to be like, wait, what?
Right.
Yeah.
But don't we have international transparency laws? I mean, we're going to break the law again, and then we can be held accountable internationally.
I don't know about that. I mean, like, we are allies with them. We do have like the 4 eyes or 5 eyes, intelligence sharing, but they might claim it's national security like they have with so many other the files, 2.5 million of the files.
I think he's going to extradite Ghislaine. I think that'll be our next thing, is that there'll be some kind of way where he's like, we're getting all the criminals out of our prisons, so we're going to send Ghislaine Maxwell back home to the UK, and that'll be like his way of like pseudo pardoning her for staying quiet.
Oh, God. But with the,
I don't think
always
the UK
something
would
horrible
take
to
her.
think
I
of.
could see them like actually rejecting her when she lands on the tarmac.
You think?
they're
Yeah,
pretty
wouldn't put her in
livid
prison
right
over there?
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to accept a prisoner,
True.
right?
Well, I wonder if
Just
they
go to
could
Israel.
give her a communication. Well, yeah, you can give a commutation. I don't even want to say this out loud because he could be watching. He gets all his ideas from podcasts, but it would be commutation, right? And then essentially taking away her American passport or citizenship and deporting her back to her home country of origin or something. I don't know. Send her to El Salvador. Isn't that the
I
kind of
think
stuff
she
they
was.
like to
I
do?
think she's an American though.
Is
can
she
you do that?
fully American?
I'm gonna
I thought she
Google
was
this.
born in UK,
Ghislaine
but she got citizenship or
Maxwell,
something.
American.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
she's a naturalized American. So I don't think they can do that.
Boo.
that's
They
good.
can if
I am
they
too.
found that if she got her citizenship fraudulently, they can denaturalize her.
Oh, well.
Oh yeah, because if you lie on your citizenship, and that means if you've been charged with sexual abuse. Oh wait, there's a story in The Guardian about this. Glenn Maxwell offers to renounce foreign citizenship in exchange for bail.
Girl, you're never getting out of prison. Also, I'm not even sure she is in prison. I saw that video. That was not the same nose. I have a lot of conspiracies. Dr. Leslie, did you have something to add to that thing we were talking about a second ago?
Oh, the UK files, the UK asking for the files. Why aren't we subpoenaing the people who redacted the files? I mean, why aren't we looking at the people who actually had eyes on before? You know, originally they had the files with the black boxes and they fucked it up, and we could take the black boxes off, and then they got a little better with their PDF skills. But there's like 500 people involved with that. Why aren't we asking them what they read and saw and covered up? And then where are all the videos? Where are the snuff videos that Pam Bondi was talking about on a hot mic?
Right.
Those aren't redacted. The UK could grab those.
We only have 3%. Right.
Yeah, those are in the 90 whatever percent that we haven't seen.
So the UK could get a lot potentially if they played this right.
Mm-hmm. People are saying Maureen Comey knows so much. Yeah, where's she been? They got rid of her.
They got rid of her.
She's
Maybe she
suing.
should
Probably
go on
scared.
CNN. Tell us something. I'd be scared. I mean, look at what they do.
I think
A
she's
lot of people are
sued.
dying lately.
So she might
A lot of
not
people are
want to talk.
dying. Freaks me out. The Charlie Kirk mentor, founder of modern cheerleading, dying at a pickleball incident was just like too absurd for me this week. The founder of OnlyFans died. There's just like a lot. There's a lot of weird death.
Guys, I got some intel on that actually.
Oh,
So-
do tell.
He was trying to sell OnlyFans because, AI, apparently guys don't care if it's real or not, as we saw from AI MAGA lady that everyone was like hot for.
Jessica
Did you see that?
Foster. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, she's not real.
No, she's not. But her name is Officer Jessica Foster. I just had it in my propaganda presentation last night, 2 nights ago.
So now they're like, they basically think like real women, they're not going to be able to do OnlyFans anymore because now these AI women are so real and you can make them do whatever weird thing you want for free or for a fee, an AI fee, I guess. But it's
As
very
if porn
creepy.
wasn't dehumanizing enough. Now it's really just straight violence.
Yep.
Gross.
That's where we're going. Elon
Do we
Musk
blame
did say
anime?
he could buy it.
I know.
So
I'm in the cheer world. I don't believe it either. Yeah, this guy who was the father of cheerleading, UCA cheerleading, and varsity sport is the name of it. It's like ever since they started adding more gymnastics to cheerleading in these competitions, shorter skirts, tighter outfits, the midriff tops, all that kind of business in like 1999, as I recall, when my cheerleading uniform changed. I was like captain when I was younger. So I would always like make us wear the warm-ups instead of the skirt. That's how my mom should have known I was gay. Every time I got to pick the uniform, we're wearing the windbreakers, bitches. We are not wearing these skirts and these midriff outfits. Okay. It's not happening. But anyway, this guy is responsible for like the sexualization and the adding gymnastics to cheerleading in the late 90s. And he was apparently a mentor to Charlie Kirk, a very far right-wing supporter.
Wow.
Though, you know, they do UCA special cheerleading camps and stuff. I'm sure that there'll be a documentary on all of this soon now that this guy has died. But he slipped and fell playing pickleball and then died as a result of your injuries. Like, bro, I need like 17% more information just on that line alone.
How old was he? What was his name?
He wasn't that old. He was like maybe 65 or something. He was not old. Let's see.
how good at pickleball was he?
Jeff Webb was his name.
Also, pickleball, you like don't really move at a very fast velocity. So
That's
I
why
mean,
I think, how could you fall and die at 76? He was 76.
Maybe he dove because it's such a tiny court.
he doesn't
Dude,
look so.
stay out of the kitchen. Stay out. The kitchen
Freak.
is a pickleball term. I
New
don't know.
York Post dies in freak pickleball accident. They think it's freak, so I'm going with it.
They
If
are
any more
freaks.
people
He just hit his
around,
head.
if any more people around Charlie Kirk die, I'm gonna start getting freaked out. And I'm like, I'm
but
very
Eric,
not
so-
a conspiracy person. But it's gonna be one more.
That's what I
Bizarre
keep saying though
pickleball
is
incident. Yeah.
it's no longer a conspiracy. Like we can't. The conspiracies are now true. We need a new word for conspiracy because
Mhm.
like if you see the forest for the trees, this is all really fucking weird.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah.
it's true. A lot of it is true. And we're
Mhm.
just needing to put the pieces together.
People
like
are
the
saying it was
whole-
a head injury. So
maybe he had a brain aneurysm.
see, this is where I'm at, Salty. Yeah, like falling out a window in Russia. Like Peter Thiel's boyfriend who showed up to the New Year's Eve party he wasn't supposed to show up to because Peter Thiel's husband was there. And then sooner be known to the boyfriend, he fell out a Miami window. Okay. I don't know. They say it was a suicide. I don't know. It was sus to me. There's a lot of sussery.
There is a lot of sussery going on.
Everything around Peter Thiel is sus, especially because he's so high 100% of the time.
Did you guys ever talk about Jeffrey Epstein's attempted suicide like 3 months before the real one?
No.
Yeah. Did you know that? Like Tara, I don't know if you know the time frame, but it was like a few months because he was like working out but then like sleeping in. And there's
I never heard of
documentation.
this.
Yeah, there's documentation. I don't know where I found it. It might have been in the actual files when I was looking. But he tried to asphyxiate himself again, and it didn't work. And people arrived and they resuscitated him.
But this was in the jail, you're saying, or was
Yeah,
this
in the jail.
Oh.
Yeah,
But he
and
wasn't in jail for 3 months.
no, a few months prior to when he was in prison the second time.
He claimed his cellmate tried to kill him 18 days earlier before he died.
Okay.
So
Maybe that's what it is. And then
he
don't
complained, and that's exactly why I don't think he killed himself if he was complaining that his cellmate was going to kill him.
Well,
And-
I
but
don't
the
think he
thing-
killed himself because the modern mortician said that the ligature marks on a person who hangs themselves go up, not back. I'm in all the I don't sleep. I just read all this stuff and then you
The
think
body
it can't
had a
happen, and then it
prostate.
does. Yeah.
The body had a prostate. Epstein's urethra was to one side. The body had small testes. There's so many things that don't line up.
I'm telling you.
Oh, it does say that there was a jail suicide attempt 2 weeks earlier.
Mhm.
Something like that, but the cameras glitched again, guys. They don't have video footage
then-
of those moments
Well, we
again.
do now, and there's a blob. There's
Yeah.
an orange blob. The blob
There's a
tells all.
blob. Well, that's our show for today. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we get out of here, or we leave people spiraling on the conspiracies? Call a friend, tell them what you learned on the show today, build some community. We need to bring back the tin can phone, like the wall phone with the long cord. Telling you, nothing hit
Walkie-talkie.
like holding the phone and like twirling the cord. We got to bring it back.
Love it. I'm
Amanda,
down.
final thought?
Please go vote.
Tara?
I'm trying to live on the ground. And you can follow the Red Letter and the Tara Palmeri Show to parse through all this wildness.
I know. And Dr. Leslie, anything to add?
Stop fucking children.
Yeah, basically. And stop
Please.
supporting people.
Yeah.
We'll get into the Duggars this Friday on our Police Scanner
Ugh.
True Crime Show with Dava.
And the wife.
History in 60 and Kendra, and just the IBPL church and just sort of these situations that are going on. Also, No Kings is this Saturday. Amanda won't be there because she is going to be out canvassing for a candidate, which, as other folks in the chat said earlier, is the most No Kings thing you could do. If you get out there Saturday, go to a No Kings rally. It really is just like good to look around and see people that still care. And it's good feeling. All right.
Okay.
Goodbye, friends. We'll be live again
Bye.
tomorrow, 10:30 or 10 to 11:30. And it's good news only. We have the comedian Dana Goldberg coming to tell us some jokes and try to lighten things up a little bit. And also still talk about the headlines and probably my conspiracy theories. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye. That was another episode of the Tara Palmeri Show. Thanks so much for tuning in. I know it was a different vibe, but I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little bit longer too. If you like more of that, just chat over, lunch. Let me know and we'll do a show like that. I love hearing from you. We're creating a community together. We're building this together. Of course, you can keep supporting me by going to tarapalmeri.com and signing up for my newsletter, The Red Letter. By becoming a paid subscriber, you get my exclusive reporting. You show the world that independent journalism can work, and you support me, and that would be great. And so I want to thank my producer, Dan Schiffmacher. I want to thank Abby Baker, who also produces for me, does social media, booking, Adam Stewart on the graphics, and Dan Rosen. See you guys soon.